And it's Wednesday, October 21st. It's a great day. I'm not going to tell you all why, but one of the reasons it's a great day is, yes, you're in the right place at 3 p.m. Eastern. You're here at Litvak Leadership Live with my special guest and cousin, Judi Hirsh. Woo! Hey, Judi, how you doing?
Woo! I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
I am so excited to have you. And look who's here visiting with us already. There's Siri, there to say hello. Well, what a shocker.
What a surprise. Thanks, sister.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a crowd of people. Yeah. I forgot you were part of Megaminds for a while. So you know all the Megaminds. Very cool. So Judi is my cousin, and she is a rabid cheerleader for Las Vegas. And
yes, I am.
Yeah, and she's a mom of 5. She's a huge patriot. So we got all kinds of fun things to talk about today. So Judi, the first thing I want to know is Vegas all showgirls, gambling, alcohol, and cigars?
No, I'm just kidding. No, actually, I have 5 kids, and they were all born here, and I'm raising them here. So, unless we go to the Strip, they're not going to see all that stuff. It's available, obviously, if you wanted it.
If you want
it. But yeah, no, we're not really exposed to that stuff. We kind of stay away from the Strip. Yeah, I mean, it's a great city, and my kids, they know what happens here, but it does stay here.
So I forever see Judi posting on Facebook, like every time there's a snowstorm in Chicago. I know the posts are coming from Judi where she starts telling everyone they need to move to Vegas, or when someone has their taxes raised or they're complaining about taxes. There goes Judi making a comment about moving to Vegas. So why is Vegas so wonderful?
Why is Vegas so wonderful? Well, obviously, we get really nice weather, actually too hot sometimes, but yeah, and we have no state income tax. So you're just paying federal tax when you live here. So the real estate tax is really, really low, and it's a great place to live. I love it here because it's the entertainment capital. There's a lot to do. And if I want to escape, I'm 4 hours to go to California, to LA, 5 hours to San Diego. Utah is beautiful. So I just love this little pocket of the West Coast. I just think it's very reasonable, living, price-wise. I always, like you said, in Illinois, the taxes, I hear everybody complaining about it, complaining about the mayor, complaining about the tax hikes. It's just so affordable for many people here, and people are moving here like crazy because they could work from home now. Everyone's working from home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since everyone is working from home, well, not everyone, but many people are working from home, they're relocating to a warmer climate, and Vegas is the place to be, because you guys don't have a state income tax, do you?
Nope.
So there's whatever percent in your pocket immediately. So what's the housing and condo and real estate market like in general in Vegas?
So right now, the homes and condos, if they're move-in ready and really nice, they're going on the market. They're getting multiple offers, sometimes above list price. If it needs work, it sits a little bit longer on the market, and then the prices need to, be reduced. But just people are moving here from all over, so that's what's driving the prices. I'm seeing a lot of people from California, New York, New Jersey, Illinois. I'm actually closing a deal with someone from California tomorrow. They just are leaving their states because it's just so unaffordable.
So let's look at so there's Eric Bam, who lives in Hurricane Alley in Oklahoma. And let's say, because Eric Bam with Perfect Crust Pizza Liners, he can really do that from anywhere. Let's say he goes and he sells the ranch, and I have no idea what his home and his land goes for, but looking at it, and it's my Chicago mentality, I'm thinking it's like, because of the land, well, the house looks nice from the outside too, but because of the land and everything, he's got like $400,000 to spend. He's got 2 kids at home, a wife. He wants to live comfortably. Can you get a good deal? Something for a nice, for a family of 4 for 400,000 in Vegas?
You can. He's not going to get the land that he probably has where he's at. Most of Vegas, not all of it, but most of Vegas, there's homeowners associations. And then the further away you are from the strip, the less land that you get. So if you want land, you got to pay for it. There's so many parks here. So people realize that it gets really hot here. So not too many people, unless you have a pool, utilize their land, let's just say. But unless you obviously have land property, then there's a lot of upkeep, but you're going to pay for it. I missed that last question.
So Stacy Howling Crane says Las Vegas is a great city with exceptions. She's old school. Do you have any idea what she's talking about?
It's a him. I worked with him years ago. He grew up here. He's no longer lives here, but he's here to support me. But I think I'm sorry, what was his question? I missed it.
Well, he said it's a great city with exceptions. He's old school. So do you know what he means by he's old school?
The fact that it's grown so much here. He likes when it was still smaller, but it's grown. I mean, people are moving here because they can make a nice living and have a nice home and not pay, high taxes. So it's grown. I mean, I've been here 26 years and I've seen the growth. And I remember where the last street ended towards the mountains, and it's just gone further and further and further. So, it's a growing city. We're over 2 million people now.
Wow. So like in Florida, because my wife and I have thought about relocating to Florida. So tell me, why should we move to Vegas instead of like Clearwater Beach, Florida?
Okay, well, do you like humidity? I mean, come on. The humidity in Florida.
Do I like what? Do I like what?
Humidity.
Humidity.
If you like humidity, go to Florida. If you like dry heat, come to Vegas. In Vegas, your wife will have good hair days all the time because, the frizz in Florida, we have, the dry heat, good hair days. I have a friend that lived here, moved to Florida and moved back. And she's like, oh, I love coming back to Vegas because I always have good hair days. But there you go. No humidity.
Yes. Someone else talking about it's a dry heat.
Oh, yeah. 115. It's a dry heat. Living here so long, you just kind of get used to like when you're going to run your errands, when you're going to do your stuff. So, I mean, every place is air conditioned. Your house is air conditioned. The stores are air conditioning. Your car hopefully has working air conditioning. But you don't have that when you stand in Florida. You just feel that drip coming down your back. In Vegas, it's dry. You got to have a lot of moisturizer and a lot of water.
Okay. We've always, liked the beach, but I understand with the beach comes humidity. Hadn't thought about it quite like that. So do homes in Vegas, is like a pool standard, like it kind of is in parts of Florida, or not so much with the pool?
It's not standard, but they're definitely very desirable. Those are the houses that go quicker because, everybody wants a pool in Vegas. But a lot of people, do end up building a pool, and depends how extensive they want their pool, with the waterfall and the landscaping. You could add a pool somewhere between $30,000 to $50,000.
Okay.
Very simple, the 30. But people are obviously in the springtime when people are looking. That's when the pool homes are the ones that are moving a lot. So yeah, people are like, okay, I want a house, for sure needs a pool. So although they want a community pool.
So I'm embarrassed to admit I've never watched the episode, but I hear you talk about it, and I've seen people post about it. For those of you who don't know, Judi is an HGTV star. You were on one of the shows, and it was like a big deal. So tell us about that.
Okay, well, actually, it's a big deal only because they keep on airing the show, which is great. A few years back, I had a listing, and someone from HGTV reached out to me, and they said, can we use your listing in our show? And I said, is this for real? So I did reach out to them, and they said, yes, it's for real. So if anyone who watches HGTV out there, there's a show called My Lottery Dream Home with David Bromstead, and it's actual lottery winners that they give them 3 houses to choose from, and they end up buying. So this episode, the person that won the lottery was a former boxer, and in my listing had a punching bag hanging from the loft. So it was like and they reached out to me, and I spoke with the owner. The owner was okay with us doing the show. And like, I don't know, the day before, it actually was in my community where I live in. I think a few days before, they're like, hey, by the way, do you mind doing a cameo with David on the show? I'm like, no, not at all. So of course, there's hours of preparation with, just being on for like literally a few seconds, but they keep on airing. And actually, David Bromstead recently filmed another here in Las Vegas, and he was in my office, and I looked like a train wreck that day, and he remembered me, and he's like, that episode is doing amazing, and they keep on airing it. So I'll get text messages, oh my God, I just saw you again on HGTV, My Lottery Dream Home. And it was literally, I think, like almost 4 or 5 years ago. So his first season in episode 10. So
first season, episode 10. Okay, so I'm writing this down. I got to find it. So did it get you business?
I don't know, indirectly, but people are like, oh, that's really cool. Well, then people are like, oh, my realtor was on HGTV, but I think indirectly, not directly from it, but indirectly, just showing a presence and, being excited about it. Everybody watches HGTV, especially in the people that are looking for homes.
So what's it like being the mother of a co-ed basketball team? Meaning you've got 5 children, 4 boys, one daughter. The daughter is in the middle, right?
Youngest, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Oh, you're right. I was off by 1, but your oldest just graduated high school, and your youngest is how old?
5.
So that's quite a span. I mean, 5 kids and working full time. What is that like?
I've been mistaken as grandma a few times. Let's just point that out.
Okay.
But anyway, it's it's got its challenges. My oldest son does help out. He drives, so which is nice. The older ones do help out. Of course, they do fight. But actually, a lot of my business are parents of my kids' friends, which is great. And I'm very involved in their school. Well, their online school right now. But I'm very involved in their activities. And it gets overwhelming. Like, there's times that I have them in the car, and I'm like, I have a business call. Shh, be quiet. I have to hear. So then I have to take off Bluetooth and, try to actually talk to them. But sometimes they purposely get louder when I am on the phone. Like, shut up. Anyway, yeah, it's fun. And sometimes, if I have to take them with on a showing, it depends on the client. If it's someone that I've known a long time, like, hey, listen, I'm going to bring my daughter or my son to a walkthrough. Just want to give you a heads up. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But my 5-year-old, he'll start just jumping all over the place. And I try to keep it very professional, and it just depends
Sure.
on the client. Yeah, it does have its moments, but I think they're kind of a blessing because a lot of my business is from their friends' parents. So
Well, and it's funny because you see those posts that people put out where they make like they're pregnant, and you're reading the whole thing, and it's like, and I'm not sure whose this is, but I wish them the best. And you tend to post that like every 4 or 5 months, and I'm like, okay, is she really pregnant again? Let's read through this and see. Okay, I thought it was fun.
I'm famous for the April Fool's Day joke. Like, I think a few years back, my sister made a joke like, "Oh my gosh, you had 5 kids? Seriously? Now it's uneven. You need to have another." So I put it on April Fool's Day, like that I was going to be due, whatever. I don't remember what time. And people were still congratulating me months later. But like, I'm like, "Hello, April Fools." I didn't know. The 6th didn't happen. But yeah. I bet that the 5th was the one to the end to make my.
That's the end. To make your 5, and that's it. You're done. So you're also a huge patriot and love our country. I know that that's something that has been instilled in us from our family. Just love of country. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Okay, well, my father actually is retired military, and he always wanted one of us to go into the military, and that unfortunately didn't happen. But he came to this country when he was 9 years old, and he just loves it. He just instilled that in us because of the love of the country. I actually I'm a 3-year member of an organization here in Las Vegas. It's called VA Rep. It's Veterans Association of Real Estate Professionals. And I get educated on how to work with veterans, and I choose to work with veterans. And people have this misconception of the VA loan, and it's the best loan out there. So I'm passionate about working with them. So I do have some VA clients. They're probably going to be watching this, or if not now, later. But they're I always, when I see someone in a uniform, I always thank them for their service. I just know what they go through, and I really appreciate, I take the time. And I think I did post something that on Facebook, like, did you ever stop and see someone in uniform? I'm not talking about police. I'm not talking about someone in a military uniform. And I always do. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what's it like having Siri Pop for those who have saw my interview with my other cousin Siri? What's it like having her pop in and out all the time and take care of the kids or rile them up? And I think more of the latter than the
former. It's great to have her. She lives really, really close. She's been amazing auntie to my kids. She does rile them up, and then she's like, "Okay, bye." But not always, but it's convenient. She loves them. She's an amazing aunt, and I love having her. And she's always off. She's always out for an adventure, and even is willing to drag my kids to do that. And she's been great to my teens. Helps out. Like, before we got a car for my son, we were borrowing her car. So she's a great sister and great to have around. Please don't leave Vegas, Sari. No.
No, I think you guys will all be in Vegas for a long, long time. I would be shocked if any of you. I was surprised when Mo moved from Vegas. That just makes no sense.
Yeah, he needs to come back. My brother definitely needs to be back here. But I think people, when they come here, so you have to give it some time, at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
And he needed to give it a year. He didn't, but I don't know, maybe in the future. I mean, I'm sure eventually he's going to get sick of winters.
I hate winter. I hate winter. Yeah. And I live in Louisville, and I hate winter. Chicago winter is the worst.
Louisville, I hear, gets a lot of rain. which I'm assuming in the winter gets a lot of snow.
It's,
But yeah,
it's lots of ice on occasion. It can be icy. We're
so
right in that zone.
yeah. So in Vegas, like if I want to see snow, like Mount Charleston, the mountains that are surrounding, I could look at snow and that's good enough for me. I don't need to go and have to shovel it like I did as a child. And if I wanted to, we could take a ride up there and, go in the snow. But honestly, I don't even have like snow stuff for my kids. So they're like, let's go to the snow. And I'm like, nah, it's okay. You can look at it. That's enough.
You could go see snow when you grow up. So Kelly posted that she's getting ready to list her mom's house.
Yeah, I'm ready for you,
Hopefully she's
Kellen.
going to ship her mom to Vegas. But so what should she be doing as she's getting ready to list her mom's house? What kind of pointers do you have for her?
I think her family owns a house here in Las Vegas. Get ready to list my mom's house. I'm ready for you, girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kelly, is it in Vegas?
No, she's not in Vegas. She's in California.
Right.
But at one point, she did reach out to me and said that she has, I think, a family member has a home here, and she already reached out to me to list it. It was a family thing, so I think they were trying to figure all that personal stuff first.
So when someone wants to put their home on the market, what is the most overlooked important thing that they need to do?
Let's see. Usually the curb appeal, the landscaping starts to kind of get overgrown and people don't take care of that stuff. But obviously when someone pulls up to the property, that's the first thing they see. So I would definitely, spruce it up a little bit. Obviously in the winter months, something isn't going to really grow and you don't want to plant anything in the winter. I mean, it doesn't freeze. It may get really cold, but just sprucing up the front, the exterior, maybe even do a power wash or, sometimes the outside needs a repainting. The only thing is there's a lot of homeowners association here, so those things need to get approved prior to. If it's a major, revamp of the front, if they do, major improvements. But yeah, people kind of just forget to do that maintenance outside.
So there's homeowners associations that limit what you can do as an improvement in front of your home.
Yeah, you like a lot of, because there's a water shortage here in Las Vegas. If you want to, if you want to change your landscaping to like a synthetic grass or desert landscaping, it has to be approved by the homeowners association. Actually, the water district here in Las Vegas does, if you change from grass to desert, they'll give you actually money back. So you tell them what you want to do. It needs to go through the HOA. They do need to approve it. And then the water district does give you a rebate.
Got it.
Kinda
so
cool.
It's not like, so do people have fountains in front of their house in Vegas, or with it being in the desert, that's not really a happening thing?
I mean, because if it's not, I've seen ones that are sitting there dry, and if the water is not in it, it's very exciting when people first get them. And then if it's not maintained and there's not water in it, it looks dry and kind of, beat up.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The person across the street from me put in one, and they turn it on every so often. But if there's no water in and the pump's not working, it just looks kind of dried out. But yeah, you don't see a lot of fountains here because of the shortage. Actually, also, people used to put misters in their backyard,
Okay.
kind of rooms of misters to kind of cool off. But the water district also has limited the water use. So that's also, people don't really do those anymore. But
I love those misters.
Huh?
When I went to Phoenix a few years ago, they had misters in various places, and they're so refreshing as
really
you're walking through the dry heat.
The only thing is if there's one leaking one, you're like getting soaked if you're under the one that's broken.
Oh yeah, yeah. So what is the real estate outlook in Vegas? Because I know it boomed for a long time, and then in 2008 there was kind of a bust, but then it came back roaring like a lion. What's happening now?
Okay, so like I said earlier, pretty much anything that's move-in ready is getting multiple offers. This spring and summer were amazing, and through September, I think we just had like the highest closings in September.
Wow.
Our governor has limited us on, we cannot, they just changed it like a week or two ago, but we weren't able to show the interior of a house occupied by a tenant. So we just, we couldn't get in there. So that would be an investor willing to buy the place sight unseen. So that was just released. So now we could get into tenant occupied homes. I don't want to be doom and gloom. But so there was, we couldn't really kick people out if they weren't paying their rent. And now officially, if they're not, they can. So hopefully it'll be slow and work with the owners to kind of get caught up. But yeah, officially, if people aren't paying, they could be kicked out. And hopefully that doesn't mean that we're going to get this influx, but they're seeing that may happen. So, but people are still moving here from other places, which will probably help that factor in that it won't make the prices go down. I'm praying. You don't want to be doing.
Absolutely. So you must see there's all kinds of stars and celebrities that go to Vegas and perform. Who are some of the people that you've run into and met? Just surprised.
Oh, God. Okay. Gosh, what was his name? Why can't I think of his name? Backstreet Boys. Nick Carter at Trader Joe's. I've ran into Nicolas Cage. Oh, another Nicolas Cage. I was like, oh my God, look, it's Nicolas Cage. I handed my phone to my son. I'm like, go take a picture with him. He's like, who the hell is that? I'm like, Nicolas Cage. Who else have I seen? I've seen, I don't know if anybody's UFC, people who are into the UFC. I don't know who's watches the UFC, but Dana White, Dana White, seen Chuck Liddell, Frank Mir. Years ago, I did work for Planet Hollywood on the Strip, and so I used to see celebrities all the time. I mean, met Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Demi Moore, the owners of Planet Hollywood.
Way cool.
Spontaneously, who have I? Yeah, just Nick Cage, Nick Carter. I'll have to go back in my Facebook. I do run into people. I just can't think off the top of my head. But yeah.
So what about like Celine Dion? Do you see her? When you're out going to Costco or anywhere like that, Celine just walking around with her cart.
She lives in Lake Las Vegas, which is on the other side of town. But yeah, no, I haven't. I've never seen her. A friend of mine, I guess, tutors her kids in Spanish. But yeah, she lives in Lake Las Vegas.
Who is Omri Caspi?
Omri Caspi he's the Israeli basketball player.
Oh, okay.
He used to play for the NBA. He no longer plays for the NBA. I don't know, sister, who else have we seen? Tell me. I can't remember who we bumped into living in Las Vegas. I mean, years ago, I went to hung out at the Hard Rock, and they did a Rolling Stones reunion. And I mean, like Paul Stanley, the other one, Gene Simmons from Kiss, just, walking around the Hard Rock when it was open. Who else? Chris O'Donnell. I don't know. This is 25 years ago, but. Okay, I'm sorry. Carlos Santana.
Who?
Carlos Santana.
Okay. So Paula Dornfeld wants to know, how are the public schools in your area?
Oh gosh. public schools. I usually recommend people going to the Clark County School District website, ccsd.net, to look at the ratings. Not the greatest, let's just say that. We do have charter schools, which are pretty much, funded by our taxes. It's run kind of like a private school. So those are good, and there's magnet schools. But if people who come here, they know that the public schools in certain areas are better than others. Summerlin, my office is in Summerlin. There's a high school around the corner called Palo Verde. That's actually, everyone's like, oh, I wanted my kids to be at Palo Verde. So people know the Summerlin schools, high school is good. And in Green Valley, which is on the east side of town. But public schools, Paula, I'm sorry, aren't so great.
So what about, so like in Chicago, you call it Chicago fast food. I call it Nirvana, Italian beef, and a Chicago dog. Louisville is known for the hot brown. Philadelphia, the Philly cheesesteak. You can get all kinds of food in Vegas, but what is like the consummate Vegas food?
Steak and eggs at 1 a.m, right? I mean,
That's great.
like we don't really have like Vegas food, it's almost like a little melting pot here. I mean, people move here from Hawaii. There's a lot of little Hawaiian places, throughout town.
Right.
Yeah, we don't really have a staple food. We do have a lot of world-renowned chefs that have restaurants on the strip. But otherwise we don't have like Chicago pizza, Philly we don't have that. We just got lots of food. Oh, love my sister.
So you're a local. You've probably been to, a bazillion restaurants. You've probably been to all the hotels for one event or another. If someone is coming to Vegas, where do you recommend that they go stay? And what should they do that is not a typical Vegas experience?
Well, I would stay probably either at the Venetian or the Wynn. They're beautiful hotels and casinos. They've just got, beautiful shops in there. In the Wynn, they have beautiful mosaic flooring and, flowers all over. Just gorgeous. Walking through there. Obviously, things are shut down right now, but the clubs are great, on the strip. I'm trying to think restaurants inside. So there's a great place inside the Venetian, Black Tap, and it's great for families to go there to that restaurant. They've got these crazy oozing milkshakes with like pieces of cake on it and candy all over the side. But it's a fun place for families. Just great restaurants in there. But yeah, I would say at the Venetian or Palazzo or the Wynn or the Encore. It's a great pocket over there on that area of the strip, and across the street. There's very close by, there's a mall. So people like to go to the mall. It's convenient right there. So good area on the strip.
Awesome. So we've made it to 31 minutes already, surprisingly. But now we're at the point of the show where I ask you, Judi, what do you want people to take away from you? What do you want them to leave this show with, where they go, boy, that Judi, this is what I got from her? Go.
Oh, thank you. Well, I love this city. I promote this city. I've been here 26 years. If anyone has any questions about Las Vegas, I have 5 kids. They're all born here and raised here. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you out. It's a great place to live. I will never move back to the cold, and I'll never move back to Chicago. Yeah, I'm here to help. I love it here. It's a great place, and can't beat the weather.
Indeed. Thank you, future mayor of Las Vegas, Judi Hirsh.
In my spare time.
My guest today. Thank you, Judi. This has been insightful, learning, fun, always fun talking to you. And You're just a great guest. So everyone, I hope you had, oh wait, we have one more new comment. We'll take a quick look. District 300 restaurants in a 2-mile radius. Okay, then you can eat whatever you want to eat.
Yeah, everything.
So, but Judi, thank you so much for being on
you.
the show. I hope you had a good time.
I did have a great time. Thank you. When are you coming to visit?
I need to figure that out. You know, the wife and I are talking about taking a vacation soon. Maybe I can get her to go to Vegas because we want to go somewhere warm. And even in the winter, it's warm in Vegas compared to where we are. So
it's not really pool weather, but you may have some nice days.
Okay. Yes, we will have to plan a trip because I need to have y'all meet my wife. You guys would all have fun together.
Oh my gosh. Hello.
yeah. It's been married for forever and still haven't met all the family. So anyways, that's Litvak Leadership Live for today, Wednesday. I hope you all have a blessed day and we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks again, Judi.
Thanks, John. Thank you. All right.